to day 8 of Ritualize Your Life Challenge. I'm Sharada Devi. I'm going to take a moment for everyone to arrive, and we'll chant the mantras we've been chanting at the beginning of our sessions. And warmly welcome all of you who are joining live again today. So nice to see you popping in here. Matilda, Theo, Mamacita, Sarah, Kate. Wonderful. Okay, let's chant to Ganesha, the remover of all obstacles. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And to Saraswati, Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Aim Hrim Om Saraswatye Namaha. Om. Okay. So Mamacita says, is it my IG? But I don't hear you. How about the others? Can you hear me? Please let me know. You can hear me speak? I can hear. Okay, Kate says, I can hear. Sarah says, yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So with the blessings of Ganesha, or simply that which removes all obstacles in life, that principle, that grace factor, the blessing of Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and the goddess of words, the goddess who reveals the truth and helps us to express ourselves, express the truth that we are, the love that we are. We enter the step 8 of Ritualize Our Life. So today is dedicated to the blood, to the sacred blood. And so for those that are men and do not bleed, it's in the same way you can connect to that anyway, in terms of the sacred blood, that fertility aspect. And here more actually the rest day. So we're not bleeding every day, but really honoring those days of rest. So independently of being a man, a woman, non-binary, we all need those days of rest also. And it's interesting because I started to bleed today actually. Today is day 8. We have the dedicated to the blood, and I just started bleeding today. So my energy is a little bit low. And usually on my days I don't really do much. But here I'm just in this sweetness with you, and I also have experienced in previous situation when I was teaching on my bleed, and it sometimes happened. I was on a retreat, and there is this like deep softness here, and that gentleness, that depth that comes with it, and it's so beautiful to really show up also with whatever is alive. In this moment, I don't need to push myself or be more energetic than what I am, just to impress the world. It doesn't matter if I'm live or not live. To show up as who we are with the energy that we have, and see that we are still acceptable, no matter with high energy level or low energy level. And excuse me for the sound here in the background. I'm still in Portugal. I'm still here for 2 more weeks. And I'm living in a yurt at the moment, which I love. It's so beautiful, very wild luxury. The only thing is, it's a little bit loud because the wind is very intense.
It's super windy.
So, embracing the sacred weather, outside, inside. So Theo is saying, I also started to bleed yesterday. So congratulations to your womb, to all those bleeding beings. So basically the step 8, well, it won't apply every day. And before I'm gonna go into the step 8 a little bit more, there was a question that someone asked. I forgot her name right now, but not a question actually, well, more like a comment, that she started to feel a little bit overwhelmed with all the steps that we are learning. She started to notice this inner pressure that she should be able to memorize all these steps. And so I invite you to notice if some of you also feel this overwhelm. Let's take a moment to give space to that. Just like to acknowledge there's a part of me that feels overwhelmed with all these steps, and how am I going to learn all this mantra? Oh, that's your friend Anna. Yeah, Anna. So let's just take a moment to feel the feeling of being overwhelmed. If you feel safe and comfortable to do so. Noticing how that manifests in your body, the feeling of being overwhelmed. And maybe you feel a little bit of contraction or like a tension in the heart. Maybe a little bit of short breath. Maybe there's like a pressure in the belly. I'm just like sharing with you what I feel when I like think of being overwhelmed. Some nervousness. And then if you feel comfortable, breathe into that feeling. And even those that do not feel overwhelmed, but there will be a time in your life where you feel overwhelmed again. And maybe you feel something else right now in your body. So then breathe into that, and we give a moment to allow whatever feeling is here to be. And like for Anna now, who feels overwhelmed with all the steps that we are learning, all the mantras. This inner pressure that I should learn all by heart, and how am I going to implement all of this into my life? Like, and then like you feel it, and like yes, the intensity of it. And then give a good sigh, or even a big sound out, like And sound helps very much to like this feeling of being overwhelmed, to maybe it feels nice to like shake a little bit, or go even a little bit deeper with the breath. And then see what is alive after feeling that. Notice if it's still the same feeling, the same sensation, or did it change a little bit? Maybe it has calmed. Or maybe you feel another layer of it. So if you feel another layer of it, let's go into that layer with our awareness, with our breath. And then you let it become bigger, the sensation, the feeling. Like you let it take up space. And there's like this inner voice saying, it's okay, you can be here with me. Right? That's what the self says, the limitless selves, which is you, Abhayam, the fearlessness as yourself. If it could speak, it would say, it's okay, be here with me. And then on the exhalation, when you're ready to release it, and then again, in the silence, in the stillness, you notice, is there a shift? Has it settled? And then sometimes what happens, some tears suddenly appear. Right? Because you're actually giving space to feeling overwhelmed. For those that are just joining now, we're just being with the feeling of being overwhelmed. And nowadays in life, there's so much going on. And so we very quickly get overwhelmed. And maybe some tears even come. Like that inner pressure that we experience because like there's an agenda that I should be learning all these steps within 36 days. I should be learning all these mantras. And so that should, which is interesting, it's like shooting. Like it's like you're shooting yourself. You have an agenda for yourself. I should be doing this. I should learn. I should keep up. And then feeling that, and I need not. Right? I need not. I need not. And you meet that part that says I should with, okay, feel all of this, but I need not. Right? I need not learn everything by heart. I need not learn all the Sanskrit mantras within the next 36 days. Like, I didn't learn them within 36 days. I've been with this, with the Vedic tradition for the last 20 years. I've dedicated my life to spiritualizing my life, to ritualizing my life. And so it's also interesting to see this tendency and these hooks, like 5 steps to this, 6 steps to this. And like, yes, we have these 5 steps, we have these 36 steps, we have the 64 steps, right? But it's not that linear. It's not that we learn the steps and then we have arrived there and there are no obstacles and we're never going to repeat it again. And that is an illusion. Like, and we all know it. We all know that if you really want to learn something, if you really want to change something in your life, if you want to change a pattern, if you want to truly master something, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen within the week. It's not going to happen within 36 days. It's not even going to happen within a year. Like, that's nonsense. This is something we have learned, that, okay, I'm going to go for a yoga teacher training, and then in 1 month I'm going to be this yoga teacher. It's a profound initiation, and I love yoga teacher trainings or any kind of intensive trainings. Like, they're beautiful containers, and we dive in them, and there's a certain intensity, and that intensity, like, it fuels us, and that pressure also that then is there, it's great. We can grow in that intensity, and we maybe process and purge certain things in this container within the months that would maybe otherwise take a year or even 10 years. Absolutely. There's so much beauty and grace in an intensive container, but to then really assimilate it, like embody it, integrate it, and be it, that's not then going to happen within that month or that year. The yoga, the spiritual life is all about to get out of intensity. It's all about to get out of extremes. It's all about coming back to harmony and balance and leisure. And so we get here in this moment right now, like this opportunity to catch ourselves, where we have this agenda, right? Anna, who shared this so beautifully with us, that she feels this overwhelmed because there is this like agenda really that I should be learning all of this, integrated within the next 36 days. There's always exception to the rule. Like, you may be able to do that. You may be able to learn everything by heart and integrate it, but then to really embody it, assimilate it, integrate it, for it to become your second nature, that's going to be a lifetime really. But like, going to be a lifetime, that's something that can excite you. Like, wow, I have found something that is actually meaningful, purposeful, beautiful, that has depth, and I get to spend the rest of my life with this. Wow, how amazing is that? And instead of like, oh my God, now there's so much to learn and I will never learn everything, and how I'm going to learn this, and like, we can feel all of that, and it's valid, we welcome it, we feel it, but then like, no, wow, I got to learn something that is so profound, and now it's all here in front of me, and I still have so many years to go, okay? So many lives actually that I can dedicate to this, to the depths of your existence, the depths of this universe. And so I know, according to Matrix, like the movie, or maybe AI and all of this, what is happening, like we can take the pill or we can apply this app and then download it all within the second. Yeah, how would life be like? Like, to have a life like that. And we all see it already. Like, we have all this luxury, we have these apartments and the cities, and And then we label that as the luxury. But is it really a luxury to live in a skyscraper and have beton all around you, people all around you, no nature, no fresh water, no fresh air? Is that really the luxury? No, it isn't. To be out in nature, fresh air, fresh water, the simplicity of life, isn't that the luxury, right? And nature has its time, everything has its time, it's all in cycle, our moon cycle, right? Sacred cycles. And so here the same, like you go through now, through these 36 steps, and enjoy them one step at a time. And every step that we are learning is so profound. Like each and every one of these steps are a huge initiation. Each and every mantra that we are learning are profound. And so you learn them now, one by one, and then you see what is here. Like you will see, the more leisure you can come to these lives and be with me, the more leisure, the more will stay. The less agenda you have for yourself, the more of what I share with you, the more of the mantras, the more of the steps, it will be there. It will just be there. But the more pressure we have, the more agenda for ourselves, that it should be a certain way, the less we have the capacity to stay present and receive the knowledge, be with the knowledge, be with the tools. So leisure, and yes, leisure, we earn leisure, like my teacher would say. We earn leisure. We earn leisure by engaging in life. Like, so when we are out in life and when we do our actions and we're out there, we burn the fuel, we burn the rajas, we earn our leisure, so that when you are here in class with me, like, you can lean back and you just let this knowledge, these steps that we're learning now, and these mantras, just be like a shower. Like when you take a shower or you take a bath, you don't go and take a shower to feel more stressed. You don't take a bath to feel more stressed. No, you take a shower to relax, to wash yourself, to feel warm on your body. You go into the bathtub to come back into the mother's arm and rest and unwind your nervous system. And this is what I want for you, that these sessions we have every day now, and then maybe you want to continue with me this journey, that when you come, you it's like this bathtub you're going into, or this ocean, this warm ocean, and you let yourself float in this ocean of knowledge, the ocean of the Vidya Sagara, and you can be here and just be bathed in Om, dearest, hello, shine, hello, Kirsti, so nice. I'm so happy to see so many of you joining. Hello. So that you can come to these classes or sessions or rituals, however we call them, and you can let go of all the agendas, and just be with it, and you'll see, like it'll just be there. You'll remember, because like even if right now, like you have this step, and then this step went really deep because you were open in this moment, and then that step you bring into your daily life. Like the drinking of the water, you would drink throughout the day so many times. You walk so many times throughout the days, and then you remember Om Bhumi Devyai Namaha. Take that moment to connect to Mother Earth. So this, like each step, and then see it naturally will integrate it. So I hope this helps for everyone to feel more relaxed with the process and with this sadhana of these 36 days or steps to ritualize your whole life. And if more things come up, please share with me again. Like all we gotta do sometimes is give space for the feelings, the feeling overwhelmed, and it's seen, it's held, and then it feels it can release. So Sarah says, love this idea of having a shower and just enjoying the knowledge. Yes. Yeah, like see the truth of it. It's so beautiful to see you radiating. Thank you, Kerstin. Okay. Hearts to Rebecca, and Philippa, and Lala Liberation. So many are here. So beautiful. Okay. So any sharings you have, also any other concerns that have come up, any other questions with the previous steps, I'm just going to repeat them very briefly. So step number 1 was the moment we wake up or before we wake up, fullness I am. Recognizing that we exist. We were given one more day to live, just like today. Right? I've been given one more day. Anandoham. Limitless fullness I am. Like this moment. Acknowledging my existence, my limitless existence, something to be discovered. We start with, I exist. I've been given one more day. Anandoham. Then the second, Yogakshema iti prana panayoho. That moment of recognizing, acknowledging the inhalation, the exhalation. I'm a living, breathing being, and I ritualize my breathing. Inhaling, I receive. Exhaling, I'm protected. Right? And again, just this. And then you bring this out into your daily life. When there's stress, right? One of the best way for stress release is breathing. Number 3 was action. The third step is action. Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Sthita Gauri, Prabhate Karadarshanam. I sanctify all my actions of the day. When I go out, may my actions be an offering. May the result that comes in be received by me with Namaha, glad acceptance, even if I don't like it. Another opportunity for me to grow. And we're remembering here, we come here to grow. That's the purpose of life. To grow, Tantra, the expansion, right? The relative expansion first as a human being through understanding the value of values. Through values we expand, we grow through certain rituals, through certain disciplines, and then the ultimate expansion, which is the limitlessness, discovering that that is your essential nature. That is through self-knowledge, Atmajnanam, we say. Because how can you expand if you're already infinite? So then, step number 4 is temperature. For those that are wanting to track their temperature as part of natural fertility awareness, and those that do not track the temperature have a moment to honor our sacred womb, our physical womb, energetic womb, Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb, the womb of the universe, which is our great mother, man, woman, non-binary. We exist within an infinite womb, and she's our mother, and we create in her, with her, as her. We're all a creative force. And so we have that moment in the morning, acknowledging that. Number 5 is the getting out of the bed. So there's also that moment where we see, are our legs still functioning? I cannot take for granted that I can still walk. So, wow, my legs are still working. Now I offer my gratitude to Mother Earth. May you please bless me and protect me and all beings as well. Om Bhumi Devyai Namaha. That was the mantra. Then number 6, drinking water. So and also again, this is my kind of day. I go first after standing up, go and drink water, for example. That's usually the first thing I do. But if you go and stand up and then the first thing is you go to the toilet, then the step number 9, which we're going to see, which is the elimination, then you would do the elimination as step number 6, right? So it can also shift. And with the time, you see that actually, as we are practicing it now, it becomes like a nature to pay attention and say a little bit prayer before any action. And that's really the whole point, that we say a little prayer, a little acknowledgement before every action. And when we do that, life is a ritual. As soon as we add a prayer, it's a ritual, really. And that acknowledgement that I cannot take this action, this step, this moment for granted. you're ritualizing your actions, your life. So here we had drinking water. Om Achyutaya Namaha, Om Anantaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha. Remember, for those that are joining new, I see so many coming new ones. Hello, welcome. Like if the Sanskrit mantras do not inspire you, then you can translate it into your own language. Here we are honoring the water and asking that which is infallible to come into my life. Like I want to drink that which is infallible. Like this notion that I fail. What is the fear of all beings? That we are failing. Like I'm a failure. And so when I'm a failure, I'm not lovable. And I cannot accept any mistakes. We're so hard on ourselves and other beings for doing mistakes. Like, how dare you do this mistake? So when you're drinking the water, we are freeing ourselves from this idea, this pressure that we cannot do mistakes. No, I'm invoking the infallible, that which cannot fail. And I purify myself from all these wrong expectations. Om Anantaya Namaha. I drink, I invoke that which is limitless. Until I know what is limitless is your nature, but until I know that, I see God, Goddess, the universe, something outside of myself as being limitless. I'm invoking it into my life. Om Govindaya Namaha. I invoke that which is absolute pure nourishment. Like when you drink, it's nourishment, it's cleansing. And I'm drinking. It's like that Govinda is the one that brings the milk. And the milk, like the milk from the mother's milk, the mother's breast. Not mother's milk. Yeah, mother's milk from the mother's breast. But then as adults, we don't drink milk anymore. Unless we do. Most Western culture, we still drink a lot of milk. Usually the milk is meant more for babies. That's a whole other topic. You can look in Ayurveda. Is it good to drink milk or not? But so water, right? We drink and invoking that nourishment. Then number 7 we saw is checking the mucus. And that is to know if we are fertile, not fertile, knowing our fertile days, when we're infertile. And we can simply, in that way also, like neutralize any disgust, any shame around our fluids, our discharge, and just become curious and establish a healthy relationship with your secretions, with your body, with the fluids. Is given by the universe. And isn't it incredible that we can see if we are fertile, infertile, because of our mucus. I mean, when I learned about that, I was fascinated, and it's just the wonder, the marvelous, the infinite, intelligent being that we are, and we see how much knowledge is there in us, in everything. And so instead of judging it, we have reverence for it. We are like, wow, in all this mucus, these fluids that come out of my body, how amazing is that? Yeah. But so many people, like hello everyone, so nice, Sonia and Kirsti, Philotus, Sidali, like so many people, so many women, like we are not in touch at all in any way with our body, with our fluids. And now, like step number 8 is a very big one, is the sacred blood. So when we are bleeding, like so, and I just started to bleed today, like to sanctify, ritualize our menstruation, our blood. And so here, this would be step number 8, the sacred blood. And so in this blood, I invoke the sacred. So if you go to the toilet, like usually that's what I do when I wake up, after going out of the bed, I first go to the toilet, check the mucus, if I do it, when I do it, and then if I'm bleeding, like there's this sacred moment of being with the blood. Like this morning, okay, she came, she was there, and then what I do is I collect my blood. I have a very beautiful relationship now with my blood. It took a few years, quite many years, to like really sincerely, deeply neutralize all form of disgust towards my blood. Like, and I took it to quite an extreme level. I really went through the whole thing, like starting to just collecting the blood, starting to like touch the blood, then starting to offer the blood to the earth. That was like step number 1. And then step number 2, like I started to use my blood and started to make masks on my face. I was introduced to that by a dear sister, and these are like the old witch secrets, like, and so putting the blood as on the face, and I do now facial masks every month, and it's the best facial mask ever. I mean, no facial mask can beat your blood. Like, it's full of nutrition. Is the lining that was created in your body to actually hold and give life and make a baby, and then instead of just throwing it down the toilet, you can collect it, right? And if you don't feel yet ready to smear it all over your face, you could offer it to the Mother Earth, and say this prayer. Then, like, collected your blood and then offer it to Mother Earth. And especially if you have like a plant, the plants love your blood. They love it. All the plants, they are always healthier and happier. So you could start with that to sanctify your blood and get out of any sense of disgust or judgment towards your blood. You could start with that and do that for some time. And then next step would be to if you feel ready, look, smear it all over your face and let it dry. Then I let it dry. I do many layers because I have quite a lot of blood. Day number 1, day 2. And then I make many layers, and then I wait until it becomes hard, or you barely can move your face, and then it's just slowly comes off, or I just wash it off, and really the skin is so soft, so smooth, like baby face. And then number 3 that I start doing, this is maybe a little bit radical, and some of you are going to be, oh my goddess, she is crazy. So I'm going to tell you now, and if you think I'm crazy, that's okay. If you think I'm mad, that's okay. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm mad. I own it. I'm fine with it. It's okay. Our madness, you know. But it really, I love doing it, and it's a very tantric practice. I was initiated to that by a beautiful 88-year-old tantrika, and that really was the last bit that really, like, my blood is so sacred. I love it. I adore it. And it really, like, hit me. So basically, what do you think it is? Like, the last step was to drink it. Oh my God. Yes, exactly. Know what's coming, drink it. Yes. I feel that. I mean, when I, heard that, and I heard people doing this, and like the tantrikas do that, and I was like, I don't know if I ever can do that. That feels so weird. Like, how can you drink your blood? But then I did it. And like the first few times, I could not believe. Like, still, every time, it's almost unbelievable. And at the same time, it's like, of course, the blood, my blood, it tastes like the most fragrant flower, the most fragrant scent. Like, I have not ever tasted something like that. It's so fragrant. It's like a mix of like lily and lotus and gardenia. The scent, it's when it's healthy. Like, you also can feel based on the blood, like if there has been stress throughout the months, then one has usually painful and cramps and body pain or headaches. Like, these are all symptoms when we had a very stressful months, and so then the days of the menstruation are also more painful, or experience pain. And like, we could talk a lot about that, because there's so many stories of women like having the most excruciating menstruation, and then taking the headache pill because they cannot bear the pain, And where does that come from? Well, because we live in a society where we have to be on top of everything 365 days a year, every day, no matter what. Right? We just go for it. Like, that was for many the rite of passage. Like, no, if you are bleeding, you just put a tampon, you take the pill, and you go on with your life as if nothing happens. And really, the days of our menstruation are at least those 3 days, like at least 1 day, if you can 2 days or 3 days of like rest. Like, it's your time as a woman to rest. And for the man, if you're a man and watching that, like, you have probably women in your life that are bleeding. That's then the moment where you take care of the woman or the person, the being that is bleeding. Like in the Vedic tradition, when the woman is bleeding, she does not cook, she does not take care of the house. Her man, or the person that is not bleeding, takes care of cooking, takes care of the children, takes care of the household. Like in my sister, Dee just told me also in Lebanon, it's still there in the culture that when she's bleeding, the whole village knows and the family knows, and then she rests. The red tent, like many of us maybe have heard of the red tent, and then there's the time for nourishment of she, the woman who is bleeding, or the being that is bleeding, really has time to rest and nourish, because they are nourishing everyone else all day, every night, all months, taking care of the family, taking care of the community. So we also need rest. Right? We cannot just give without taking care of ourselves. We cannot. We die. We burn out. We know what's happening. Now we see it all around us. People burn out, stressed out, cannot cope with life anymore because we're just going for it without taking care of this body temple. So basically the third part of my story of how I really neutralized my disgust, my judgments around blood, was through drinking it. And to my surprise, or not to my surprise, it's the most fragrant elixir I've ever tasted, really. And how can it not, right? Of course it's going to taste incredible. So I just want to read your comments. Do you use a cup or pad to collect it? I use a cup. Yeah, because in the pad it all gets like, it's all sucked in the pad and then I cannot take it out. So I use a cup. Okay, that's so powerful. I use a cup and love to connect with my blood like this, gifting it back to my garden. But I also know that the cup is stopping the downward flowing energy of it. Yes, that's true. I also am not like 100% feeling the cup, because I also feel it's there. It's like this, yeah. Like what happens sometimes also, like I do actually feel when I'm bleeding and when she's coming. So when I'm really at home, I often also then, even I don't want to wear the cup, and I just have this, this great underwear that are like menstruation underwear. So I wear those often. And then when I'm really at home, I can feel when she's coming, and then I go to the toilet and just take a cup, and it comes out into the like a cup. I can kind of feel it's coming, it's dripping. So that I also sometimes do, because sometimes my womb really doesn't want to have a cup inside. Ulrika is smiling. Kate says, I lost cup this week, so free, float with pads and menstrual underwear. Feels really good. Yes. Yeah. It's so good. Or when you're like out in nature, that's the beauty. I'm here in nature. I have beautiful, just nature around me. Can be naked, and then just also go and free bleed in nature directly. But now it's a bit windy, but I would do that a lot in Bali as well. Usually I live in Bali, and I'm just like naked out in the garden and free bleed. Okay, so I'm cheering you on. Theo, I guess then less need to replace iron with iron tablets after bleed. Yes, I think so too. I still take iron though. So I'm also not eating meat, so I do add my iron. Do you dilute it with water? No, I don't. I heard about drinking the blood, and I don't drink everything. Like it's like more like symbolic, and then the rest is for my face. The body does release this blood, so I'm wondering if the body really wants to take it in the release again. Curious to hear your thoughts about that. Yeah, like there's so many different controversy. Like some people say, like, no, it's the discharge, it should not come back. In the tantric tradition, it's like, no, this is the sacred, like that's Kamakya Devi, that's the goddess, and it's the most nutritious and full of minerals and vitamins. And don't ask me, I'm no expert in this, but in the tantric tradition, they say it really regenerates. But how I relate to it is if my beliefs have so much to do with it. If I feel disgusted and feel it is waste, and I would take it, feeling it's disgusting and waste, I will feel bad. But like as I'm changing my relationship to it, and I see it as sacred, and I don't see it as waste really, right? Because this was there, ready to create a whole baby for 9 months. I don't see it as really waste at all in that way. Yeah. So for me it feels really good. For me it's like I feel strong. It's like this iron tablet, or like, yeah, eating meat, which I don't. So then that is like that more strong way. Okay, how much to drink? Just a little or a whole menstrual cup full? I've done both. Like I really feel into what feels right for me each month. So there has been some months where I felt like I'm gonna drink this whole cup because I just felt like this is what I wanted to do, and it felt so good. Not once have I felt nausea or felt sick in any way. It just always felt so empowering. When I started, I just drank a little, and then one time it was like, I want to drink this whole cup. And I did it, and it felt so empowering. And then other months I feel not like drinking the whole, because like I say, I really want to keep it for my skin. I love having it as a facial. The face, like you got to see for yourself. It's it lets the skin be so smooth and so soft. So I would really listen to your own body, embodies intelligence. It seems like it would be very restorative. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel so restorative. Yeah. So, yes. This is my very witchy side that I love, and yeah, the witchy side in me. And that's how I ritualize my blood. And also what I also have done is done paintings with it, actually. I don't do it so often because I love using it for my body, and I want to use it all for my body and take it. But I also have done sometimes like a little painting. I know some sisters, that's their ritual. They take the blood and they make most beautiful mandalas and other kinds of painting and art with it, out of it. Yeah, that would also be a very beautiful way to ritualize the blood. And then there's probably many other ways that we also can ritualize it and sanctify it. Like the idea is, like, remember, we're doing all of this to neutralize any judgment, any prejudice about anything in this body, in this world. And that's really the whole idea of it, to neutralize any prejudice, any judgment, any sense that this is profane or disgusting or ugly or invaluable. Like, that's why we're doing this. That's why we're paying attention now to all these different steps, like our actions, how we wake up, when we wake up, where we walk, when we go and drink water, because everything has become a habit for us, but an unconscious habit. Everything has become normal for us, so we take everything for granted, and we judge everything. We see everything through the eyes, through the glasses of likes and dislikes, and we do not see things anymore as sacred. We take everything and everyone for granted, and we have to get out of that, right? Because if we don't, we lose ourselves, that we already have. We lost the meaning of life. We lose the joy of life. We lose the beauty of life. We already have lost it. But the good thing is, when you lose something, you can find it again. Right? So we're just finding. So Philippa says, it's the blood of life. How can we not honor it? Exactly. Like, how can we just throw it down the toilet? Like, I had like moments where I was a little bit crying about all these years, because I don't do all of this for so long, like with the blood. Yes, I started to sanctify my blood quite a long time ago, like more than a decade. My first book about the blood was Her Blood is Gold, I think even more than 10 years ago. Yeah, and so I started to like just ritualize that moment. I started to take time for me and nurture myself, eat better, take rest. I started to, for many, many years, offer it to the earth. Like, I did that for many years, but I really like do some of these tantric rituals, like putting on the face, drinking. That all I only do since maybe 5 years or so. So, yeah. Right. And then I was a little bit like just taking that moment of like, oh wow, for so many years I just flush it down the toilet, but that's okay. Like that was then, and so now really cherishing these few cycles I still have. I don't know how many cycles I'm still gonna have. I'm 40 now, so it could be that I still have her for 10 more years. It could also be that she stops earlier. Nowadays, so many women and beings come into menopause way earlier than what we used to. So basically that, and the mantra that goes with this step is to Kamakya Devi. There is a temple in India. Well, there are many temples in India, but this is a very famous, very revered, very precious temple. It's called Kamakya Temple, and it's dedicated to the yoni, to the sacred womb, and to the blood, like Kamakya, to the menstruating goddess. And yes, if you ever have the chance, I have personally not visited the temple physically. I've visited it many times, and every month in my heart, in my meditations. I have this beautiful photo because there the deity is a yoni, and then she bleeds also once a month. Nobody knows if the blood, where the blood comes from, but this yoni, she bleeds once a month in that temple. And so I have this beautiful photo, and she's adorned with lots of flowers, and so I have a deep connection with her, even though I haven't visited. But that's the power of our minds, of our imagination. We can travel anywhere at any time without going anywhere and without spending any money. Isn't that wonderful? So Ulrika says, my cycles are gone. My last blood was on Bali. Oh, honoring that. Yeah. So you can chant after me if you wish. Om Kamakya, Om Kamakya, Om Kamakya. And so here you see there are a lot of long A's. You have Ka, Ma, and then there's Ka, H. Ka is a strong aspirate sound. Kya, and then the third R is also long. Ka, Ma, Kya. Ka, Ma, Kya. So a lot of Ah, you see? So she's the goddess Kama, the goddess of desire, the goddess of the womb, the goddess of the blood, and it really, like the you drop your jaw, you open your heart, you open your womb, energetic place of the womb. It brings you down into the earth. Kama, Kya. Om Kamakya, Om Kamakya, Devyai Namaha, Devyai Namaha. Now the whole mantra. Om Kamakya Devyai Namaha. 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 3 more times. Om Kamakya Devyai Namaha. Om Kamakya Devyai Namaha. Om Kamakya Devyai Namaha. So also chanting this mantra, like also if you are going to the toilet, you don't feel ready to collect it, you don't feel ready to put it on your face or what to talk of drinking, like no shame, even if it goes down the toilet, that's all fine. Like we're not here to guilt trip ourselves, we're not here to find faults, nothing like that. You can then, it goes down to the toilet with reverence, that's totally fine. You chant Om Kamakya Devyai Namaha. Like as it goes down the toilet, chant this mantra, and that's the gratitude for your blood, you know. So instead of like, oh, now I'm bleeding, what a pain in the ass, I have to bleed, I cannot do anything, I shouldn't be bleeding, why am I bleeding, this is so annoying. Like, that's what most women feel, beings feel in regard to their blood, as they're not celebrating. We're here to celebrate life. We're here to celebrate every step of the day, and every day is here to be celebrated. Even death. Wow, what? How can we celebrate death? So, this is it. This was number 8. And if we wake up tomorrow, we go to number 10. Dedicated to elimination, a very big one as well, like so much shame in our anus. So we're gonna neutralize all the shame in our anus and bring sanctity to it. Oh, that's all. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor. It's my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you. Really inspires me to have you here live. Makes a big, big difference. Without you all being alive here, I would still do it, because ultimately I benefit very much from it in all ways, in every way. But it's so much more inspiring having you here. Yeah. And again, love to hear from you, your questions, your comments, your experiences. Let me know in the comments and when I post this. Thank you everyone for sharing it and inviting friends, and it means so much to me. And yeah. Much love.